Hello, and welcome back to another RiftGuides WildRift video. For today we are going to take a look at a Corki gameplay by Mr. Kranix. As I've promised, more AD carry gameplay by yours truly, and after watching this video you'll understand how to pilot this lovely bombardier to a very nice level and just punish people over and over again for just playing a weaker champion. So let's get at it, my friends. First off, we have a Blitzcrank at Kaiser against a Lulu and a Corki. So the rule is pretty simple, don't get hooked forehead. But that sounds a little bit easier than it most of the time is. So what can you do to avoid being hooked? Use minions as an invisible line, and with that, life gets a lot easier. Blitzcrank can't really do anything to you unless he reaches you, and therefore life is pretty cool. And Lulu commits for a big mistake here. Lulu is a ranged champion, Corki is a ranged champion, Blitzcrank is a melee champion. They should never lose agency during the laning phase. That is a massive mistake. We're also seeing a quick little adaptation in terms of a build. We are running the Conqueror Corki. And now Lulu already committed to a big mistake by using this early play here, even though no jungle comes at this timer yet. You use your laning pressure to slow push the wave into the tower, and if you can't dive, you back off, create vision, and recall. Now the enemy Kaiser is allowed to recall, and will probably just lose one minion, unless we are kinda lucky. Please kill the caster minion. Got their cannon. All these cannons are always worthless, they're always trolling. And yeah, okay, because there's much confusion, Corki deals mostly magic damage. Like, I think, like, even if you just look at the hook connects, but you don't want to hook the Lulu, my friend. But yeah, Corki deals mainly magical damage, like by a large margin, but he still builds AD. So if you get confused seeing a Corki with AD items, I know it should be common knowledge by now, but there's always people that just start the game or simply do not know. You build AD items on Corki, and then you transition into certain AP items. Keep in mind, certain AP items. But in this case, we have the Manamune build stacking up quite nicely, because every single of our spells, like the ultimates, which we'll use to poke, will proc this as well. Usually you would play the First Strike build, because First Strike just feels so funny in solo queue. But you can also run Conqueror because you can stack it so easily. Like, you spam so many spells and therefore have it stacked so fast, you gain a big chunk of AD. Which is also very nice to have, plus the Omnivamp. And Omnivamp is something that in the past you didn't have access to on Corki, which made him such a unfortunate champion. Now you have the Glutton's Grease, which grant you this Omnivamp already very early on, making life a lot easier. Oh, the Blitzcrank is being very smart, walks close to pop him with the second ability into the third ability, and then only hooks him. This is something that many Blitzcrank mains need to learn, and he's not popping the plant because he's recalling anyway. Very important. A quick bit of info about Corki. Corki really needs to be mindful about the package timers. Before the first objective spawns, you will have access to your package. You want to pick it up so you can utilize it for the first objective, and you need to make sure to just structure your wave clear and overall game plan around this. So you need to play slightly different than other AD carries. You need to be more aware of your own tempo. What does tempo mean in this context? Having resources and putting them back onto the map in the form of pressure to deny the enemy something can be like defined as tempo. Like, you push a wave, the wave is crashed into the enemy tower, you take a recall, the enemy is forced to stay and clear this while you already go base and spend your gold, allows you to be in the map earlier, and maybe you can shackle the enemy to lane afterwards, which will then allow you to utilize this lead you have in terms of gold, because you've spent your gold, and they couldn't, to even bigger advantages. Twisted Fate coming in with the gold card here, with the ultimate. Blitzcrank will not be able to reach here unless he goes for this play. Yep, we flash away, everything is fine, now we turn around again. Looking for potential options, dealing a lot of damage with the Conqueror. You see, like, big damage is coming in. We have nice sustain as well. Somebody is behind here. Zed goes for a quick little cheeky play behind the tower, gets one kill. Zed swaps back for no reason and gets killed because he's just trolling. Oh no, you just hate to see it. And yeah, about Corki builds, there's like a massive amount of different Corki builds you can think about. You have Spellcaster Corki, you have Crit Auto Attack Corki, you have Poke, AP Corki, all of these builds, and all of them have a different purpose. And you see now, because of all the things that have happened, he was not necessarily able to pick up the package for a play that's valuable on the map, because the objectives were already taken. So Corki always feels like kind of weird in solo queue, because it's very difficult to have this kind of impact with your package, because people don't necessarily care about your package, nor do they respect it. They just flip it, you know? But there's one thing you can do with a package. You can play a lot more aggressive, because you can make yourself immune to any form of CC. Because if you use your package, you can just package backwards or forward and completely void any CC. Like here, oh, nice dodge here, and the package slows for so much. But even if the Blitzcrank hook connected onto the package as you cast it, it will not be interrupted. You will be immune. And with that happening, the enemy cooldown will be down, and you can play way more aggressive in the first place, because you have a tool to avoid this. It's basically like a QSS. And if the enemy steps on top of it, they get burnt to a crisp and get slowed by, I think, 80 or 90%. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's 80. But it might be 90. You never know. But yeah, with the reset we've taken, we also got very, very close to our mana immune. He's trying to actually execute for this mana immune, or just greed for this tower. Oh, it's 16 HP. Will they get it, though? Oh, no way. This greedy little goblin. You just saw the shiny gold coins in his face. Like, they just started glimmering. Like, give me that tower. That's mine. Thank you for the roses. Kind of type of deal. And yeah, we have some trouble in the mid lane department. This Hackram champion seems to be very balanced. I wonder why this was open in the first place. I really do. And yeah, we are now going for the Ascent Reaver. And if you're wondering, why Ascent Reaver? Ascent Reaver buffs spells. If you just have the crit item alone, like just the Ascent Reaver, it's 22.5%. The item says 20, but it scales with crit, and therefore we reach 22.5%. And every fully completed crit item you have, you add 2.5% to the item as well. The enemy not respecting the tower being too low HP, and Corki being a spellcaster AD carry, deals a lot of damage in these situations. Most of the other AD carries that are more like auto attack focused deal obviously a lot less damage, and the reason is simple: they have to attack a lot of times. Corki has multiple spells. He has his first ability, his third ability, and his ultimate. And as a kind of a little feature here, his third ability reduces magic resistance and physical resistance, making you deal even more damage, since most of your damage is magical and enemies usually don't have much magic resistance. And yeah, against Corki, buying mercs is very much suggested, but what if the entire enemy team of Corki is physical damage? What do you do then? Because you have to make a decision. Will you get plated steel caps or mercs? Because yeah, you know, pick your poison. Dealing so, like, look at the damage he's dealing, and he doesn't really have much in terms of items. Blitzcrank on the move. Ah, Kazakh's champion. Classic. And now in this game, he is building a Rift Maker, as it seems. Picks up the stasis here just to be safe. The Lulu is in big trouble here, running away from certain death of the Yaximus. And now we have to turn this. But you see how fast this Conqueror is being stacked? Spam spells here, left, right, and everything is fine. Needs to be careful about the Twisted Fate around the corner. Gets the kill on that one, but the Twisted Fate is still in the jungle. Okay, needs to be careful. Has the package to be picked up now. Still has stasis, so now he can make a very big play. Now with the package and stasis, he can actually stall for time at Dragon. Because the enemy cannot realistically fight him that easily with package, because it deals too much damage and gives him too much mobility to just avoid certain death. Now he'll play for time, places down the ward here, looks for an opportunity with the package, goes for the package as the hack room goes in, voids the play, as I've told earlier and puts himself in a way better position. Fiora goes in, dies here. Kha'Zix getting the reset #1, jumps in, jumps out. And this blue buff will certainly reset. Looking for... Oh, he even smited this one, so there was no smite contest. And they still die! No way, they still walk up. Kha'Zix, no, brother, what are you doing? Blitzcrank will fall, but the Hecarim champion is still alive. Zed uses the death mark, and we have a 1 HP survival. The red buff nearly kills him. My god, that was too close. Yeah, sums are in the wrong order, classic. Picking up jungle camps very, very fast. Since you're dealing, like, since you have so much vamp on this champion, it doesn't really matter too much. You can take jungle camps relatively fast. It's very nice. But I would really like to see, like, I really wish there were stats in the game that would tell me how much damage Conqueror added in total to the damage I've dealt. Because it's very difficult to see the true value of Conqueror compared to, for example, First Strike. Because a big rocket on like level 13 is like 200 gold or something with Ascension Weaver and Monomune. And yeah, like I really wish to see the value of Conqueror. Because obviously in Extended Finds Conqueror will be better, but how much better? How much better is Stronger Poke compared to just more DPS? And yeah, this is something I really wish to see maybe in the future of WildRift, if that ever becomes a feature. And my cat is trying to jump on my table again. Amazing. And she just jumped down. Like, I've never seen such a goblin cat in my life. And she's pitch black, so she's like literally the void, if you know this meme. The void. Wait, I have an idea. I just put a picture of my cat randomly. Ah, I think I'll do this. So much damage here coming in, so much collateral damage coming in constantly. Jax being dead, now this Nashor could be put, like, it's technically not a risk because Hecarim can't ever steal. Because Hecarim's Q will never be competitive with Kha'Zix Q. The only way it can fail is if the Hecarim fears the Kha'Zix away and the Kha'Zix has the Baron debuff. And why are you going Riftmaker? Okay, Riftmaker for the following reason. Number 1, it grants you even more Omnivamp. Number 2, since your damage is magical and you have very high numbers and scalings in both departments, and if you're a spellcaster build, Riftmaker will add a lot of damage to your build, because it's 9% pre-mitigated damage. So the higher your numbers, and Corki numbers are pretty high, the higher the Riftmaker bonus damage. And having more sustain is quite nice to have as well. And not getting to auto attack often is something that happens quite a lot. The Veil comes a little bit late here, gets the flash away, goes for a turn here. Look at the healing. This is the power of this sustain. Just constantly healing without even critting. And everyone is dying even though he was the one being God. And now with this they'll breach the midway. Look, yoink! He just slurped all the minions and got all the HP back. Mr. Yax is coming back. Mr. Yax cannot really deny him here. He needs to be mindful of the counter strike. If he has flash, he'll certainly dead, but there's so much damage. Will he die? He will fall. Jax is just too powerful, too tanky. Many other top lane bruisers would have just died, but Jax has a tool that number 1 avoids all attacks, and number 2 lowers the magic damage or just general damage you take in and the AoE damage the Corki is dealing, and number 3, the resistances the Jax is gaining, since he's gaining magic resist and armor at the same time, and Corki's damage is mainly magical. If it's any other top lane that has no magic resist at all due to this kit, well, he might have just instantly popped that guy. So yeah, Jax is cringe, and he true is. Look at him smiling. Classic. And yeah, we have another package for another objective. We sadly do not have stasis available, making it a little bit hard to maneuver, but the enemy team is fully committing onto the Fiora for zero reason, because even if they get the kill, they will lose the Dragon for it 100%, so it doesn't really make sense, and Nasha isn't a possibility. So, marker-wise, unless the enemy thinks they cannot even dream of contesting this objective, they're making a big mistake. Kha'Zix takes care of this instantly. Now Hecarim is in the river randomly on the hunt. If the Zed puts him into a fight right now, like, woo, the Blitzcrank who comes around the corner, but the Twisted Fate was not paying attention at all. If the Twisted Fate paid attention, this could have been very detrimental, because then the Twisted Fate stuns him, and then the Hecarim comes as well, and yeah, we have big trouble. But now the enemy is grouping up right in front of him. They're not using the spells onto him, which is a big issue. If he's allowed to freely deal damage, he will deal so much. The enemy Jax is 159 MR, and now he's allowed to just freely DPS from the backline. The enemy just thought of them having the enemy, they just caught them, they thought, but the Corki was left alone, and even though it might not have looked as like he was dealing a lot of damage, if you saw how much the rockets do, how much this little, like just a little chip here is in terms of damage, you would be very much surprised. But Nexus damage is simply not balanced. They'll certainly just pick this up here. I do not necessarily know why the Zed recalled and why the Lulu walked towards the Zed to help him. Pops the ult here. I like the ult because it's just pointless to not use it. You will have it for the next fight anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And now we pick up Crown. So why are we picking up Crown? Okay, we pick up Crown for the following reason. The enemy team has certain spells that are certainly, well, deadly for us. We have the Blitzcrank hook, we have the Hecarim ult, and we have the Counter-Strike. And the enemy doesn't, well, Anti-Twisted Fate, yellow card. And the enemy doesn't really have an easy way of popping our Crown outside of the Twisted Fate ultimate. So with another layer, oh my god, if he actually got hooked here, I think he just instantly dies if he doesn't have Crown. That's so funny. There's just no way. The perfect storm just happened. Like, he just Valkyries forward, and the Blitzcrank hook comes out, and this you just can't make this shit up, can you? That is just too funny. And yeah, Mr. Jaximus cannot really reach, gets blown up, we still have the stasis available, and now we end the game. Quite the juicer here, my friends. And with that, we are indeed at the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and catch you soon for more RiftGuides content. And check his Twitch.